Good.
We're so excited
Hey.
that Parie has joined us again for this. We're trying to do these at least a couple times a month, and we feel like it's an extra benefit that all of our users can enjoy. So that's just an extra perk, but we consider Parie to be a super user, and I see a few other super users that have joined us. So if you guys have anything that you would really like to share in the future, please approach us. We would love to see how other people are using the site because as creatives, you know, we all do go about our job a little differently. But
Yep.
we're hoping that you guys can pull some new tips and tricks from this collection specific class. And if you have any questions, just to kind of keep it minimized, we might ask that you mute yourself. And then if you have a question, either type it in, and I have Samantha and Brandy respond to any questions or just post them to Parie. And then at the end, if you have anything you want to ask that's maybe that you don't know how to type up, because often I can say it easier than I can type it, please feel free to step in. But without further ado, this is Parie Donaldson, and she and I have been friends for, I think, close to 5 years now. When I was first getting going with Details, she and I connected on a call and immediately like hit it off and started becoming fast friends. So I was really thrilled when she started using Details. And yeah, take it away, Parie. Introduce yourself.
Thanks, Karine. You know, yeah, we did hit it off immediately. Just, I think we're two like minds and two kindred spirits, and who love this business on all sides of it, like not just the floral and the pretty side, but we absolutely love the back end and the tech part of it and all that we could do and make it better. So thank you. Kudos to you for bringing Details to the market, because I really think it's just top notch. It's the best. And I'm very happy and proud to be a part of this team. So thank you. Thank you. So, hey, everybody. Hello from Texas. It's actually sunny here, and that's lovely because we've had rain for, I don't know, what feels like 3 weeks straight. And I have guys digging up trenches in my backyard as we speak. So I'm glad to be here. I thought we would kind of just jump in on collections and kind of give you some of the tips and tricks I've learned and played with. And, you know, we all, like Karine said, it's always about kind of collaborating and figuring out ways you do things, and maybe somebody else does it differently, but by working together and coming up with new and different ways, we hope this opens some things up for you. So first of all, what I honestly thought I'm going to do is I'm really going to share my screen with you. And it's actually the screen that you would most likely see. Can you all see this now?
Yeah, we can.
Great. So this is kind of pretty much what your screen looks like now, maybe minus these things at the bottom. These are some of the ones we've added in our Details main account. But definitely this is what you will see. All items, Ball, My Items, Alexandra Farms, Accent Decor, and Alaska Peony Cooperative. All of these new ones down here are the ones that we've added. And this is one of the things that we're going to talk about, is how to add those collections and how to use them and make the most use of them and get the most use out of them. So, but hey, Karine, while we're right here, do you want to kind of give a little heads up on that?
Well, this is something that we've been working on with the collections. Specifically, you know, you can go into each of these if it's Ball and see all their product lines, but we really want you to be able to organize your items any way that you would like, that you find your brain works well. So we're going to actually make the color collection, which houses all of these after this meeting, global. So you'll have a good start after this to get started. But you can always add any items to, say, like the white collection. If Parie would click in that, you can add any flowers that may not already, maybe you have it in your items that you would like to appear here. So just one nice bonus, but we'll click that on, and then you'll have free range of all the color collections after this Zoom.
Yeah, thought that would be fun for y'all to hear. A little bonus for you here. So I'm going to switch out of this one now and take you to my screen that I've been using for 3 years now, almost 3 years.
And part of the reason why Parie is doing this class is I think that she has taken her particular company's collections to an entirely, like, to the level for which we would want you all to make your collections. And you'll notice she's switched out all of the pictures so it matches her branding and when she's sitting with clients. Perfect
Right.
for them.
So just so you guys know, let's do this. Let's get back to how you would basically get here first. So when you're working in collections and doing a lot of this work, I absolutely suggest that you start from your dashboard, this main screen where all of your events are listed. And then you're literally going to go to that left tab, down to resources, and then to item gallery. You can do the work within a worksheet as you're working, but I think if you've just sat down one day and you've decided to work on your collections, you should absolutely come to it from the very first step, which would be from your dashboard. So as you can see, I literally, all I've done here is I've switched some of these, what you would normally see. I've just changed my icon, my little avatar, if you will. So, and the quickest way to do that is to just use hover over the top and there's a little pencil and you edit it. And this is where you can remove the image, change image, do whatever you want. So this is a part of my brand, this fun little peony. So I've kind of tried to use it throughout, and you'll see as I kind of as we dive in to some of these different collections, how I've done it more. Also, what I kind of want to overall picture here, like broad stroke, is that I tend to look at this like as my folders on my computer. Like these are all my main folders, but there can be subfolders within each one. Now, granted, the all items and my items, this is obviously what's generated through details. This is what you got from the beginning. This is all of those same items that were in all items, but anything you've added on your own shows up in here. So this is kind of this is the one main category I'll tend to work from if I'm doing things. But let's just dive in here. I'm going to get past all of these and we're going to go to color collections. So remember, I said it's like having subfolders. So we've got, and you can look up here and it kind of will start dividing it for you. So we're in the gallery home. The next folder or category down is called color collections. And then if we click on the first one, burgundy, then you will see also at the top, now that we're under color collections, and above that would be my items or whatever, right? So it's kind of tiers down just like you would use in your computer. So think of it that way when you're organizing. And I think that honestly, that is probably one of the biggest hints I can tell you too, is before you start really creating these collections, that you kind of think through how you want to organize things. That said, understand, I went and did a lot of this and had to kind of go back and rethink it after I started doing it, because we all know that when you're developing a process or a system, it usually takes a little bit of trial and error to see how things line up and how you want to work them. But for me, color collections tends to be kind of the definite go-to when I'm working with a client and when I'm working on any type of event, right? That almost always I'm working from a color when I'm designing something versus working from a theme. So this tends to be the very first one I kind of go to. So that's those collections. And I just want to really quickly give you a little tour through these other collections I've created so that you can see how to categorize and how to organize your collections. What I did here is honestly, I just pulled all of my greenery and foliage and I put all the eucalyptus in one and all the burgundy and dark foliage in another. That is just so much easier to go to really quickly when I know I'm doing a fall wedding and I want all burgundy foliage. I can just go to this folder really quickly and grab something, as opposed to literally scrolling down the entire thing to find everything that was burgundy. Same thing with tropical flowers and foliages. I just wanted one folder that kind of had everything that, you know, I kind of deem as tropical to use if I'm doing some sort of event that wants just tropicals. So you can see how I worked that. So those are kind of my flower categories. My toolkits is just that. Like, I'm a freak about having everything I possibly need on every given website. So, I mean, on every given job site. So I literally have created kits, which everything that you see right here on this page is literally in my rolling kit that I take with me on every wedding. So it's there so that I can, and I actually have created a recipe for this so that I can literally bring it into, that's a whole other thing we can do sometime. But so this is where my toolkits, my destination kit is different when I'm offsite 2 or 3 hours away from my home base. There's
wait, Parie.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world do you use a flat iron for, babe? What was the flat iron for? You just got to tell me what the iron for.
Oh, the flat iron is for a silk ribbon.
Oh,
doing her hair while she's on site.
Yeah. Yes, because
isn't that the best hack ever?
It is the best hack. I stole my daughter's first like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. And she was like, where's my iron? I'm like, I'm sorry, you can't use it anymore. You'll have to buy a new one. So yeah, it's the greatest. So
a rock star.
Okay, so let's go back here.
You need a lighter in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Were the lighters, the torches not in there? I'm surprised they're not. That's like always.
Well, we lose one every event because every caterer
grabs it.
One.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I also love to have, I sell a lot of linens, meaning I act as the designer on it. So I have all of my linen collections here. I have all my BBJ linens, and then I have all my La Tavola linens, so that I can quickly I don't have all of them in here by any means, but I have a lot of them in here, especially the ones I've used before, some of the basics. You can tell I don't nearly have all of them in here, but every time I add one into the system, I just pull it into this folder so it's there. So this is like candles, glassware. So you can see that linen and hardware, and then it subcategorizes even underneath that.
Yeah, and our goal here is also to give you guys these different items eventually as we make different partnerships or with people that want to showcase their items. Parie's gone to the trouble of adding all of these items one by one on what she's using for her events. But by all means, if there's any connections or vendors you would like to see, we'll definitely send them a package to get their products on here for all Details users.
A quick question. So I'm going into these repetitive, proposals where, it's the colors are trending and everybody wants similar things. To build a new folder, do I have to go in and just individually, basically copy it into the folder, or is there a way within an existing folder? So like I have a folder that's like, Honey Bunch's standard rentals or whatever.
Yeah, she'll show you that. You can actually do that straight from a worksheet and just copy it and make a new collection. So that's something we were going to show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and if you guys will, I know it's like you want to jump up, but try to honey, if you want to mute your thing and then write these questions down, and then we can answer them at the end, because I think I'll be able to show you guys a bunch of this stuff as we go. So
great, thanks.
Right now, I'm trying to give you an overview of kind of how I've categorized, and then we'll dive into how to create it, how to create one from a collection, and a couple of other things. So I want to show you just a couple of other things that I've done. So earlier this year, in the effort to, by the way, diversify my revenue stream, I worked with a really great little boutique store to create flowers, to do flowers for their store. It was a locally owned store. So I literally created a folder of the flowers that I was going to be selling there. Because for one thing, it was going to be a completely different price point system. Definitely maybe some of the things I wouldn't normally sell. So I created an entire folder just for that called Parie's Blooms, and that's what we called it. I even created all, my supplies that I needed. I did everything on a color, code. So you can tell. I think what's really cool about looking at some folder like this is it's really all about using the system and tweaking it to make it work for what you do and the specific things that you're doing. I don't even think I've told Corinne this, but I actually used this to figure out what all furniture I was going to buy for our new home, by the way.
I've done my house. I've used.
Did you?
Innovation. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So anyway, there's so many different ways. This holiday collections, we kind of showed you guys a little bit of this when we were working on Valentine's, but this is a really great thing too, is to, after a holiday, I think what happens is once you create your holiday, I didn't bring it in there yet. Hold on. After you create a holiday worksheet, then you can favorite all those items and create a collection out of it and bring it in here so that next Mother's Day and next Valentine's Day, you literally can just grab this entire collection, throw it into your new worksheet for the upcoming holiday, and kind of be ready to go. So that's how we're using the holiday collections.
Or if you see something really cool for this year that you're like, next year, I want to make sure I don't forget to use that flower. You can even start like planning on your 2022, I guess, Valentine's Day, even before this one's even over.
This is already what I was using for this year, for 2021. But honestly, the only difference is I had created a really pretty avatar for this. And if you don't know, I use Canva, which I think makes all of us look like we're graphic designers. And I think it's brilliant. And I just have one design where over and over again, I've used my, I'm helping a lot of other people so you can see other people's names, but I've just got these ready to go. I download them, and that's my image that I pull into to Details. So later I'll add an image there. Maybe once I create that exact arrangement, I'll put it right there. So, okay. So let's see. I think I've kind of, showed you most of these. Oh,
show your real weddings.
Yeah, I think the Real Weddings is honestly one of the greatest. So, and I'll show you how I'm going to pull something into this one later. But I think most of us probably work like this. In our minds, we're sitting with a new bride and they go, yeah, I really love magenta, but I don't want it to be this complete magenta wedding. And you're going to go in your mind and you're going to go, oh my gosh, I did Lisa and Kale's wedding and it was a magenta ombre wedding. So the great thing is when you're sitting there talking to that bride, you can literally pull up a collection from an existing wedding you've already done and show them all of the products that you used. And here they are. And you can go, here's some of the magenta flowers we would use. Here's some beautiful magenta ribbon. You can walk down and go, I really love the juxtaposition of the silver against the magenta, wax on, right? So this is, I think, one of the greatest ways to do it. And I think that we all tend to, I don't know I do this. Like if I go, oh, somebody wants to talk to me at Peach Wedding, I go, oh, Kayla and Kyle, like automatically I know which wedding I should go to show them. So this is a really great way to bring in some of your past weddings, especially those that maybe were really very color centric. I think that works here, or not even just color centric, but very thematic. This one with Caitlin and Ben, I didn't pull the pictures in yet because I was going to show you how to do that. It was very much Santa Fe colors, like the dusty, really beautiful dusty kind of copper biscuit color and a little bit of burgundy and the quicksand rose. So that is, I think you guys will find super duper helpful to start bringing in your past weddings. And like on this one, Darcy and Kai, it was all lavenders, but I didn't bring it in again because I'm going to show you how to do it. But right here, I labeled it. Let me see if I can make this bigger because I can't even see that. I labeled it lavender and blush because I wanted to remind myself, oh, that was lavender and blush. So I could look here and kind of get an idea of what is it about these weddings that I can pull into something.
Hey, Parie, so it looks like Justine might have her hand raised for a question.
Good. Go for it, Justine.
Hello.
Hello.
So I just wanted to be clear. Actually, this is not a question for you. It's for Corinne. Do I understand that the all color thing is already going to be preloaded now into our software? Or is this everything that Parie's showing us is something you're just showing us what we can do?
So you're going to get color collections with all those subfolders in the color collections. And we have designated if it's a global item, which means that everybody has access to that folder in those color collections. So it might not start off with all the items that you may have added. You can add your own to the color collections, but it should give you a good start. And then you can always switch out those avatars for your own picture if you don't like, the Details logo on it or so forth. But it is basically almost looks identical to this, but if you don't like that white rabbit, you could switch out that picture to a different white item.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to make sure because I don't want to start making color stories if they're going to be preloaded for me.
And Parie also does something really neat, because you'll know if you add a new item to details, you usually will add it like from your, like in your My Items, but Parie likes to add the item right to the color collection, because anytime you add a new item, it will always show up in your My Items. So to save that step, she puts it right in that color collection, and then it just lives there.
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
just
Thank
like
you
I
for
was
your
saying.
help.
Yeah, and Justine, just like earlier when I was saying, like I really tend to think of the color collections as that first folder past the main folders that everything kind of stems from. So it's really just trying to get in your head from now on, like when you add a new item into here, like let's say there's not that new fabulous Japanese ranunculus that has the orange edge, the burgundy edge on the orange or something. It's not in here. I would absolutely make sure and go and add it into your color. So go to your coral collection or orange collection or whatever it is where you're going to add it, and add it here, because then it will filter back up to your My Items folder in the All Items. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, and you can also, she also has seasonal trends. So maybe you want to have a whole winter collection of blooms. So you could have a folder that's called seasonal collection, and maybe you have summer, spring, winter, fall. And it's just like basic items that you might get in that consultation, and then star the ones the client likes. So there's a variety of ways. We don't put any kind of regulations on the number of collections you can make. So it's really endless. It's just a matter of how do you want to organize it.
Right. So let me show you guys how to make a collection, basically. So the reason I wanted to show you how they're kind of laid out first and how they're subcategories or subfolders, however you want to look at it, is because you should know where that folder is going to live before you make it. So I want to make a new folder, a new collection called Industrial Wedding, right? So if I were to do it right here, I'm on my main home gallery page, right? If I were to do it here, it's going to put it right here in this empty spot. But where I really want it is inside my Parie's themed collections. So first of all, I'm going to navigate into that collection. Now I'm going to add new collection, industrial. Oh, it would be great if I spelled it correctly. And for right now, I'm going to leave that. I don't have an avatar made. It's super easy later to put it back in there. So I'm just going to add this collection. And all it's going to do right now, so now I'm inside my themed collections, and there it is. So I'm going to open this up now, and you can see there's nothing there. So now the key is this, is we're going to go back to the gallery home. I'm going to go to all items. Or actually, you know what? Let's do it a different way. I'm going to go grab all of the different kinds of containers and all that kind of stuff from Accent Decor that would be really great in an industrial themed wedding. So right at the bottom, so I've opened up my Accent Decor catalog or category, and I'm going to go into selection mode and select. Wait, did I do something wrong here? No. What did I do? Corinne, what step did
I don't
miss
think
here?
you want to select all. You just
No,
want to
I don't.
mode.
Oh, right here. So I just want to select. Gosh, what is going on here? Selection mode there, sorry. You need to click it so that you're in the selection mode. And now I don't know about you guys, but when I go to Hobby Lobby and I'm on the mission for something, you have to get really single-minded. And I start rolling through here really quickly going industrial, industrial, industrial. And I'm rolling quickly. And I'm grabbing anything that has an industrial theme in my head. Anything that I think that would
And
look
you'll notice
great.
how it like highlights them in a different color when you select it. And those are the items that she is grabbing.
So let's just grab a couple more. I'm just going to grab one more. A little slow. And now I'm going to copy those items. Copy. And what will happen is you'll see this right here. 10 items are copied to my clipboard. I'm going to go back to my gallery home. I'm going to go into my themed collections, into my industrial, and I'm going to hit paste. all of a sudden, here they are. Now, here's another tip. Right now, before you forget, go ahead and clear your clipboard. So you're going to go up to menu and clear clipboard. Because now I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab some flowers to go into. Although, honestly, sometimes on these themed collections, sometimes flowers don't necessarily work for me because flowers are going to come off a colorway, but you could definitely go into flowers and pick something else. You could go.
One other point there, Parie.
Mhm.
Before you clear the clipboard, if you were wanting to add those same 10 industrial vases to a different collection, you can paste them in multiple places at one time. So say you grab all the red flowers and you're doing some kind of red collection, you might also want to paste those into your Valentine's Day or into like your Christmas or wherever, since you already have them grabbed. So before you clear that clipboard, just know that you can place them in multiple places.
Right. And I think that's exactly how I would use it when I'm working like this. What I don't want to do is forget to clear the clipboard, go in and grab other things from the color collections or something, and then go to paste it and it double paste if I didn't clear first. Right, Karina, am I right?
I don't think it will double up the items that exist already in the collection, but if you didn't want to put those somewhere, you'd have to remove them.
Okay.
But nothing ever gets deleted fully in Details. If you delete an item, you can always bring it back. So even if you do a bunch of different copy and pasting, deleting, it's all still there.
Right. So again, do you want me to do one more thing? Let me go back. Let's go ahead and grab some flowers and let's do it. I'm going to go into items. I'm going to say, let's get all flowers in, just like Corinne said, let's just do all red flowers. So I'm going to go to search and filters. I'm going to do blooms and greenery. And I'm going to do color. And I'm going to do red. Search. So now I'm getting all the red flowers and I'm going to put them into that folder. So what I can do here is selection mode. Now I can select every single one of these by doing select all. So let's just do that. Select all. Remember, you got to copy first before you leave here. So you're going to copy. You're going to go back to themes, industrial, and paste. And there you go. And so now you've got all of the red flowers and all of these other things in this folder. If you're sitting here looking at it and you're going, yeah, but I'm not going to do tropicals in here. All you have to do is just scroll over it right here and hit the trash can and it'll take it out of here. And it's only taking it out of this specific folder or category or collection. So it's not taking it out of anywhere else. It's just taking it out of this collection. So again, like, let's get rid of another one. Are you sure you want to move from this collection? Yes, I don't want it in this collection anymore. So that's I kind of do that. Sometimes I'll just bring a whole bunch of things over into something, anything I'm working on, and then I'll go back through really quickly and kind of get rid of things just to kind of pare it down. So
I had a question about merging items, just real quick. She wanted to know if you can merge items, and that is a feature that we're looking to add in the future. Our goal is for you to use global items so that we can connect that with different suppliers that you might want to purchase these items from in the future. But if you do add an item right now, they will be in there like twice. So
like, yeah, if I were to enter in the Bentwood lantern that I had, and I put it in, especially it would be in there twice, is what you're saying. Okay.
yes.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys use this a lot. Sometimes I use it, not necessarily in this situation, but it's really another way to look at all your items in there in a broader way, is to click on the table, and it will take you to this view, which also too actually gives you a little bit more information right here. It gives you your default cost, your stems per bunch, rental price, etc. So FYI, that's what that's for. So again, remember I've got the clipboard. So let's go back and say that we do want to enter this into, let's go to color collections. And let's just re-enter those because right, Corinne, because you're going to say it's really not going to matter. So
Yeah, at least I hope so.
let's find out. I'm sure it won't. You know your product. So right, yeah, it did, but it basically didn't add it if it was already there. So, oh wait.
Yeah, I think those are two different size bases.
Yeah, I was looking at that one thing. Yeah, no, everything's right. So
Yeah, you're right.
why.
You only put it in there once.
Yeah. So, and remember, I want to go back because now I really am done and I'm going to clear my clipboard. Okay. So I think one of the big hints I can give you is to pay attention to this area right here. Will tell you kind of where you are in the collection. If you click on the little book, it actually tiles it down so you can get to things quicker. I almost sometimes always forget that. I'll just click back and back. But this can show you where you're at. It's kind of hard to see.
And a tech term there I learned is called breadcrumbs. So always your breadcrumbs to see where you are if you navigate. But if you do click the book, you can actually see how many items exist inside that folder. So you can see there's 738 accent decor items. And it only shows you the folder. So there's more than 5 items in that Alexandra Farms folder, but it's showing you that there's subfolders. So basically
it's showing 5 subfolders because we've got the different series of Wabara, David Austin, that kind of the Princess series. So that's why it's showing 5 there. But, you know, within the Deluxe Garden Roses, there's going to be, you know, who knows how many. So yeah, just remember, if you click on the little book, you can get back to things quicker. I'm just going to get back to all items.
Oh, another thing that I might like to add, I always thought that, you know, when I was selling weddings, did a really nice job of creating some things for my clients. And I think if you come in here and just grab a bunch of flowers and create a folder, it will make your clients feel like you have put that extra special touch on their event, and you can just really go through and like, hey, is there anything here that you don't like that I've selected for you for your specific event? And I think that extra step just makes them very happy.
Absolutely. I tend to do that just by creating a really basic worksheet, doing that, and with like 4 or 5 pictures on that first page of the proposal, but I'll bring everything in there so that when I am sitting with them, it's already there by the time we sit down. That's absolutely, or you're right, Corinne, you're saying you could create a whole folder here that maybe just gets switched out and it kind of becomes a holding place for your next, for your next client. I like that idea. That's a great idea. So, okay. So let's see. We've kind of showed you how to create a collection. I want to go in and show you how to work with a client while you're doing it. So let's say you've got a new client coming in. Or you're working on for whatever reason, you're working on a new proposal, okay? So we'll just pull this one up. I've already got a few things in there, but we can pull some other. Let's say that this, the client that I'm about to speak to is doing a blush and burgundy wedding. So just like, this is almost exactly what Corinne was just saying. I want to be able to pull everything in really quickly that I want to use. So because I'm working in this worksheet, I'm gonna go to the item gallery from here. And I'm going to go to my color collections. Color collections, I'm going to go to blush. I'm going to go to selection mode. And honestly, I'm not going to pick all of them. I'm just going to hand pick a few of these right now. A couple of things. See how quickly you can get down if you're just looking at the blushes versus looking at blushes, pinks, reds, purples, everything at one time. So I really do love the ability to do this. So I've copied all those, but actually I told you I totally did this wrong. Sorry guys, I was in another mindset. The way to get these things in there is just by clicking on the little star. Sorry, I probably confused everybody there. By clicking on the star, you're pulling it over into your design board.
Yes, and you can still do the gathering of those items to make a new collection from inside an event. So that's what she was.
Sorry, I was jumping ahead to the next thing.
But I also think if you hit more on there, you could add everything that you've starred, you know,
to favorites.
Collection. You could select all and then star all those items in there if you were wanting to grab more things.
Yeah, I think that's what I just did, is I added all those. I think the cleanest way is just to do the little stars, but also, by the way, I think you guys all know that if you want to get rid of some items that are in here, if you click on the little eyeball, it'll take you to an item preview, which is there. So I'm going to take out these weird things that are not in my blush. Hold on. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Sorry, I clicked on the Pinterest thing. Give me a second.
I think you just need to hit back again.
Well, Parie, while it's loading, Morgan asked if you can show the inventory option on your hard goods collection that you showed in the chapel designer room. She mentioned that it was a game changer for her.
Okay, the inventory
option on your hard goods collections.
Okay.
Sure, if that strikes a bell.
I know. I'll go back to it in a minute. That's really, yeah, let me go back to it and I'll see if it'll remind me what she's talking about. I'm glad it was a game changer. I wish I knew what it was. It was so brilliant that I said. I hate that when that happens. Sorry, I don't know. Y'all, I'm probably not, I have this, the Pinterest thing always comes over and messes with my.
Yeah, and you can disable that Pinterest widget
thing. It's up here somewhere. It's right there, I think.
Yeah, but
so anyway, now we've got this down here. So this is the quick way to go. Yep, this is how I want. This is how I want this to look. So I feel like I'm going all over the place this time. Yeah, so somebody pull me back in.
What you could show right here is that now that you have all of these items starred for this particular client, let's show how you take all the items that are here for this bride and make a bridal collection with just this selection of flowers for this client.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So let's say, yeah, we've got this blush wedding. We love it. I want to be able to pull this exact same thing every time. I'm going to create a collection, if you will, called Blush, Parie's Favorite Blush Wedding Collection. So from right here on the menu, I'm inside this worksheet. Hold on, my mouse is giving me problems. Hold on. From inside this worksheet.
You're going to go up to resources.
Go to item gallery. And then on the menu, you'll click the menu and then you're going to say create collection. Now, let me tell you something. Right here is where you want to know where you're going to put that collection. So I know I want it to be like inside maybe my themed collections, right? It's going to be my blush, Parie's Favorite Blush. So I'm going to get into this folder and then I'm going to do add here. I think I can do that, Corinne.
You're going to create the collection first.
And it basically puts it there, but it's unnamed. So you're just going to click on it, make sure that everything's there. Okay, did not.
And then you're going to go to menu and click.
And then add here. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
it takes a couple times of doing it. And
I actually did that earlier, but I think I must have done it accidentally and didn't know what I was doing. So thank you. Okay. So even me, I use this all the time and I'm like, I kind of learned a new way to get this. Corinne gave me this little tip last time. So here it is, unnamed. I'm going to change it. All I'm going to do right now is Parie's Fave Blush Collection, right? Let's go back and do that whole thing again, because I feel like that was kind of
maybe go into a
cluster.
different event.
I'm going to go into a different event. Do it again. Let's do this.
Are there any questions about what is happening right now? Like what she's doing and why this is useful? Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm going to go. Let's do.
I think that Darcy folder was empty too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I could do that one. You're right. Actually, I think Caitlin and Ben's was too. So, yeah. So let's do this one. So this is Caitlin and Ben's wedding, by the way, and this was the actual worksheet and all the things that I used. So let's do this one.
1 second, Parie, before you click off of this. Can you show everybody to how to favorite all the items they've used to make sure they're on their design board first?
So let's say you've pulled things in over here by pulling things in, but all of a sudden you get down here and you want to add something else, and you add something from the actual recipe underneath the recipe, and you pull it in here, but it's not showing up here. If you'll go to this options, this is one of my favorite tricks. Favorite all items. And it loads this and puts the new items in here for you.
So any items that you may have used in a recipe that you didn't already star to your design board, just by clicking that one button, they all now appear on your design board. Absolutely. And that is really useful if you are wanting to use this for your collections. Like she'll show you.
Yep. Okay, so again, I'm like, okay, this is the one. I want to pull this over. This is my favorite kind of Santa Fe look wedding. I'm inside the worksheet. I am going to go to my item gallery first so that my item gallery pulls up while I'm still in the worksheet. And then I'm going to actually get to remember we were talking earlier about Parie's Real Weddings. I've already made an avatar and an icon for this one, if you will. Caitlin and Ben, Santa Fe Wedding. So now I'm going to create. Oh, I don't want to create.
You're just going to add right there.
Yeah, I'm just going to add right here because I've already done it. That's what I did earlier. I already had the folder, so that's what threw me.
Yes.
So now everything's in there. Now, remember what Karina was saying earlier ago, you know what? I ended up not using GM. I couldn't find it or whatever. So I'm going to unstar that. Or if for whatever reason you want to come in here and pull something out, just pull it out right here. And that is now in your, and even though I was in that worksheet, let's just get out of there and let's go back to just the main dashboard and go into the item galleries from here. So I'm going to go back this way. I just like to sometimes get out, go back in and go, oh my gosh, I actually did it. There it is. It worked. This is brilliant.
So if you have
Details
a lot of weddings made from like your past events and there's some that you really want to highlight, or you feel like their items are really a great combination of flowers, I would suggest going into that worksheet, adding all the favorites to the design board, and then add these new tiles for that particular wedding, and then just pop in all those items that you use there. And you know, in 30 minutes, you could have a whole filled out gallery of all your past events.
Absolutely. And like, I just decided, like, I literally added these 3 tiles in, I don't know, five minutes, if that long. So you could literally probably in an hour add in 20 weddings pretty easily. And I really think this Real Wedding collection is a great idea for everyone. I really do.
Yeah, I would really love to see you. Can you create a new event for me right now?
Absolutely.
And let's just name it just Random Rob or whatever. Random Robin, like a new event, and say they wanted to. Oh, I'm not there. There you go.
I'm just gonna use my name.
Okay, I got you.
as the client, and then we're going to name it.
I see. Event name. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Random Robin.
Random Robin.
And I just want to show how easily that you can put those other designs to your design board. So basically,
so here we are.
Now you're going to go to your item gallery. And then I would just say you're going to duplicate everything that was in that other
one
wedding that we just threw in there. Oh, not that one.
Oh, not themed. I hit the wrong one. Hold on. There we go. Real weddings.
Now you could either select the a few items and star them to this design board if you didn't want everything. But if you go down to the bottom options and then select all.
Add collection.
Nope. You're going to do selection mode, and then you're going to go to more, select all.
Yeah, there we go.
And then more again, and then add to favorites. So now you have just taken a wedding. It takes just a quick second because there's a lot of items.
There's a lot. There we go. So there it is.
Now this entire new wedding has all of those blooms that you were, that you wanted to just duplicate.
So here we are ready to start. You've got your template pulled up that you normally use, and you literally now can start dragging and dropping the items that we pulled in one little stroke right over here to your recipes, right?
Yep.
There you go. You just keep adding in. I'm going to show y'all, this is one of my favorite things to do as well, just from a good profitability concept process. I've created an item called sprinkles. And basically, we all know what that is. Those are those things that at the last minute you go to the wholesale and you know that you have a certain amount of budget, but there's something really spectacular there that you want to buy. So I basically give myself a budget inside each line item, especially my bridal bouquet or the head table or the ceremony pieces or whatever, where I can put in extra money. So I basically, what I've done here is I've just given myself space inside a recipe. That's just my quick tip for today. So.
Yeah, we love that. And just to let everybody know, you can download the transcript from this Zoom meeting today. And our team has put all kinds of great videos for you to refer to on exactly that. We'll also be sharing this, this video with you guys later for attending. But yeah, please take advantage of those videos. We did a really good job, I think, of making a bunch of videos of every feature over this whole COVID-19 to make sure our users could get the information that they wanted at the right time, because we know you guys all learn at different levels. But always chat in too. We're here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So if there's ever any questions or you're just stuck, and it sometimes just takes the repetitiveness of doing something over and over again to help you learn it.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any questions? Like, we kind of went through everything, and I do apologize. I think I was jumping around a little bit more than I normally do. So if somebody wants me to go back over something, explain it again, let me know.
Yeah. Tammy has a question. When adding a new flower to the item gallery, is there an easy way to check all the boxes for the months available at once instead of checking each box individually? And if not, that would be super helpful to have. And I don't know that there is a way when you're adding a new item other than to checking it off, but we can definitely put that in as a feature request because it should be. I think it starts off all checked.
You
and
are
then
correct, Kareen. It starts off all checked. I just had double checked that. So Tammy, let us know if it's not coming up that way. Because when I click new item, it does come pre-checked. Yep. Oh, Parrie's got it here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Samantha.
Denise would also let's see, she said, can Parie share her organizational structure of her collections?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you might want to whiteboard it out on what you're thinking while you're going through like a consultation and what you normally do, because we are making suggestions, but obviously everybody's sales process is different. So we always love to get our whiteboards out and say, okay, I'm going to do colors. I'm going to do one with seasons. Her flower categories, I think, is brilliant when she goes in and adds all the green eucalyptus or, the burgundy eucalyptus, because it's either one or the other. Usually if you're doing a fall wedding, it looks a certain way or so forth. So but I just think how she's done it is really quite fabulous. We don't want to give everything to everybody because not everybody wants that, but we do think that the color collections are pretty valuable. So that will be coming out. We can even do it while we're online with you guys here.
Yeah. We, when the collections first came down, the colors was like the first thing we hit having fun with and kind of coming up with things. So it was really fun when that happened. I want to go back to Morgan's question too. So Morgan,
go back into your props collection, remember, and you showed us how when you collect, when you put it in the grid fashion versus the picture fashion, you can actually see your inventory, which my inventory is all over the place, and this has been amazing for me.
Okay, I gotcha. It's taking a minute to load. So yeah, when you, if you're, basically you can put your inventory in here, and the quick way to look at it is by using the table. There's nothing in there. Let me go, hold on. We'll go to a different place. Basically, I'm going to go to my items and I'm going to search just my hard goods, vases and rentals, not hard goods. I'm going to search just my vases and rentals inside my items. And it's going to take a minute. But once this loads up, I'm going to switch it over to table. So this is all my stuff, right? Now, here's where you can see, really quickly your inventory, basically. And you can change the numbers here. You can do whatever. And by the way, you can export this and put it on a spreadsheet if you need to take it out to your warehouse or do whatever, and then make adjustments there, come back and fix it from this screen is the best way to do it. Is that what you were talking about, Morgan?
One note here, if you do use any of our global partner collections, just a good thing to recognize is that if you don't change the price of their items they have listed, it will always have their pricing in there for you. The moment you change a price, it will get added to your My Items, and it will then assume your price from that point forward. So I often, with like an accent decor item, will not adjust their cost in there or their price, just so I know what that price is from them. But then you can change that rental price to whatever you want it to be. Or if you do like a 3 times markup, you might want that to be the price that shows up on the contract on the far right.
I think that's just, we talked about that in the last webinar. It was really maybe a good habit to get into, where you leave the prices that accent decor, just do not change them in the master category, only change it within a worksheet. Only change it within a specific project, because then it keeps that number there and you can always know that that's the base price, and you can change it or whatever within each sheet. So
and also with the accent decor items, we have that linked so you can see what's in their inventory right from Details. So that's always a great thing to be conscious of as you're selling these events. If their inventory is low, you might want to not tell them how great that item is.
Right. I'm going to pull it up so you can see that.
That might be one of your items.
This might be one of mine. I was going to say, did I just happen to bring up the one that I do have? I'm trying to find something I don't have, which is hard to do with me because I have so much.
Yeah, you might just need to go to their accent decor collection, because their items are usually named with the size and dimensions.
Yeah. Okay. True. There's got to be one right here somewhere. I don't have everything there. Let's try that one.
I did want to let everybody know that we're planning to do a few more of these classes. They seem to be a really nice supplement to your Details. So thank you guys for participating. We're planning on doing the next one on February 23rd, which is a Tuesday. It's at 2:00 again. And what we're going to be discussing is contract templates and contract terms. So we've been really working hard to make sure that we are going to be offering any kind of term you can possibly imagine. And some of the best ways that we found that it's been written or like suggested by different attorneys. Of course, we always want you to do your due diligence with your local and state authorities, but we want to give our users all these great supplements and benefits. So if you want to join in on that conversation or talk about some things, that's on the 23rd. And I think if you're a member of Clubhouse, we're going to try to do a discussion on that. So if you're not on that Clubhouse yet, maybe ask me. I have a few invitations. You have to have an Apple phone, but we found that is really, really cool to get the conversation started.
Yeah, we'd love the idea of maybe using the Clubhouse as the, like Corinne said, as a preemptive, like, let's get some suggestions rolling or kind of pepper us with some ideas of what you want to see and what you want to talk about. That'd be great. So yeah, we're going to host one of those.
And real
I
quick,
think there's a few more questions.
yes, and we have a question about when you add an item, the colors that populate. So Maureen asked, can you talk about searching flowers by color? So typically when you add an item, Parie, a new item, you know how it comes up with the main blocks of color.
Yes.
It's always important to choose one of those main colors. And of course you can add additional colors as well. So if we, yep. And if we click the little colors tab there.
Yes, hold on, I'm trying to get there.
The nice reason why you would want to choose one of these main ones that come up at the very bottom is because that way you could always select that simple red versus having to find the perfect shade of red. So it's always best to choose one of those at the bottom in addition to all your shades of colors. So that will help you search the quickest in our filter options. So basically when you filter, one of these main colors at the bottom will populate, just so you don't have to find like the perfect shade of red every time you're looking just for any flower that's red.
Right.
Yeah, and one more thing on that, because I don't know if a lot of people know this. Would you mind closing this window, Parie? I want to show you guys a cool tips and tricks on items. And maybe go to a flower.
Okay.
So that we can pull up a flower, because I want to show you guys how you can potentially add like more colors to these flowers.
Get a second. Let's do that one.
Oh yeah, do that acacia. So if you click on that more details up at the top,
which is my favorite box that never gets used.
So a lot of people don't know about this, but if they open up this more items here, this gives you a lot more descriptions about this particular color. And if you look under this color selection, if you click on that little landscape in the color box,
hold on, there we go, right there.
Color, it will actually pull all the colors that are found in this picture. And with your little trash can, you can delete the ones that maybe aren't spot on. Like maybe there is a color in here that is not as great. And this one is kind of a funny color because it has so many colors in it. So if you,
but I think it's great because it shows how beautifully it does that.
But this is a great way to maybe build a color story. Or if you're searching, so it's always good to have one of those standard colors from those 14 represented on here so that it will definitely pull something. But if you wanted to see what colors are actually like in the picture, you could use that found from the picture. So
like I just pulled the blue in. I think that probably well, I don't know. Sometimes I would think purple too. And I think of purple acacia, probably purple. So maybe pull in this purple right there because that's one of the standard colors.
Yeah, it looks like that's what that was.
That was already there. Yeah. So
yeah, but then when you're doing your search, you can do by threshold, which really means how close to this color are you looking for it? Do you just want it in a shade or do you want it, far away from that? So it's a really cool color feature that we have. And not a lot of people know about it, but it's always great to get more specific.
And just so you guys know, if you don't know this, when you click on that more details, it actually pulls up an entire new window for you. So don't freak out going, where did I go to? It's go back a tab before, and that takes you back to your worksheet or wherever you were. So
just a kind of a fun trick there.
I love that. I love that one. Who else?
Do we have any other questions? Elizabeth has a question. If you save a new event as a template, the items do not populate onto the design board.
Oh, we'll see.
I guess it wasn't the answer to her question. So basically when you start a new event, and if you pull up a template, so hopefully we're all using templates that we have done before, but you'll notice when you pull up a template, your design board may be blank. You can just use that options and add to favorites, add all items, and it will then add those items onto there. So just a great way to fill the design board from a past template.
Let's say I'm going to load a different one and it'll make more sense to you. Let me load, hold on 2 seconds. So this is a template that had all this, and you can look in these recipes and none of those things are over here. So that's where you do the favorite all items. And then now you'll see it populate all these things. That's the best trick ever.
And if you ever found that you did this and you didn't want to have all those items on your design board, if you go to the item gallery, and if you were inside this, it will still have all those items that were on your design board. But if you wanted to click the menu up there, you could also clear this entire design board. So see how it has remove all items.
All items.
So you might want to clear out that and then favorite everything again, just to make sure you have a clean impression. But that's how you do that.
Then go back to the worksheet and let's do this again. And it should just bring up the real. And get rid of all that random stuff. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. In addition to that, though, I did want to also mention that though you can save your items to your favorites, you can also do the same thing with all of your recipes. It's a little bit different. If you scroll down to the recipe there for me, Parie, and just go to the recipe options, you'll see, put that new gallery recipe there. It must not be saved in there. Okay, now click it again.
Let me get to it, hold on.
Randy, the reason why this is not showing up actually is because we added this feature and Parie must have already had this template saved. So
yes, that's what it was. I was like, when you said that, I was like, why didn't that work?
Yeah, so typically there's a button there that says add recipe to favorites, or favorite recipe is how it's titled. And the only reason why it's not showing for Parie is, like we mentioned, she had this template saved prior to that feature. So anyone probably listening to this, when you click that recipe button, you will see a favorite recipe option almost indefinitely. So unless you save that template prior to the feature release. So, but it would favorite that recipe over to the board, allowing you to easily drag and drop it back to the worksheet.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, girls.
I know. And our team is so helpful. So if you guys ever have any questions, they're always up to sending you a little Loom video or something so that you can just see how to do things firsthand. Because obviously there's so much to do with this type of business. People are really don't really know how complicated a florist job is, and so hopefully this is saving you guys some mental anguish once you learn it all.
I think it's and I'll just tell you, I mean, I think you guys all know this, the more you actually do the work in here, the more it just becomes so much easier, and everything becomes a little more what's the word, it just happens organically for you. So
and one more thing I just wanted to mention before we close out here, on your item gallery in the collections, so I don't know if Parie can go to that. We have just made a new feature. It's kind of just an enhancement where you can reorganize these. And I don't think you can do it from inside an event.
You can't. You have to do it. Yeah.
So if you go to your resources when you're not inside an event, you can reorganize all those tiles to live however you might like to see them appear. So if something is more important to you, you wanted to have that in that first, You know, maybe you don't want all of our partner collections in the front. You'd rather have your color collection as the first thing that's there. You can take those tiles and just move them over, and you just do that by, I think it's a little, I don't know what
it's a little, I don't know. Looks like a directional, like north, south, east, west little arrow thing.
Take it and drag it wherever you want it. So
I'm going to grab that
in a certain way, you can
move it
literally reorganize them however.
Yep. So it just moves them around. It was acting funny on me earlier. Ones that were lower, it could not get back up.
Is this feature out for on production, Brandy?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, there it's working now. So yeah, that's a great new feature to be able to move those. Especially you'll find this like when you start creating these categories, you'll realize that, yeah, I don't want my new color thing way down here. I want it way up here because I use it a lot. So just bring it up to the top.
Yeah, we realized that once we started making them that
people
would want to reorganize them. So that was like a fun thing to do. But yeah, are there any other questions?
Justine has her hand up.
Yes, I wondered if because you said you wanted to make sure that ahead of time you had mapped out your folders and subfolders. What happens if you put something in a category and you're not happy with it? Is there a way to move it, or do I need to recreate it inside the new gallery?
You can actually cut items from one collection and paste them in another. I guess it's just really good to understand the cut versus copy. So you might want to copy them, and if you do, they get copied to the clipboard, and it's not removing them from that particular gallery. But if you cut it from like the props collection and paste it, it's no longer going to live in the props collection. So just make sure you understand what a cut versus a copy is.
Yes, I had to have restore one of mine.
Yeah,
yes, had that experience.
You know, things are really easy to restore too. So if you ever delete anything, basically, if you go to that table version, and if there's anything deleted, you can go at the bottom. It says show deleted, and if you click on that from the table view,
hold on, we'll just do it really quick.
Right there.
I'll show you really quick how that works. It's just being, yes. Okay, so now I'll go to the table version. And where did it go?
It's at the bottom, show deleted. And then anything you might have deleted will have that. They'll be in red, and all you have to do is click that arrow, and then it will be back again. So that's how almost everything is within Details. If you ever delete anything, it's really just hiding it. You know, we know people will inadvertently delete things, so we don't want to make anything permanent.
Yep.
And Parie is working with her autosave too, which isn't really relevant here, but on the worksheet, she's got that saved. So I was like wondering how she was moving so fast, because I never use the autosave. I like having versions of things, but yeah. So just always remember when you're working on your worksheets, if you do want to save that place and time, or just go back to it as a reference, just make sure you save a template or save it as a version.
I've gone back and forth between not using it and using it between the two versions.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I think we're going to close this out. If you guys don't have any other questions, thank you so much for attending. Thank you, Parie, for showing off all of your work. I'd love to see anybody else's collections as you get going and making these. It's always nice to see how other people organize things. But we're going to send this out as a replay, and we're, again, mark your calendars, because we're hosting another one coming up here in a few weeks.
A few weeks.
I'm excited about it, because I've been, there are almost 45 terms that I've found that people really almost always have. So I noticed on a lot of people's contracts, they might have 10 or 12, but there are a lot of things that maybe you guys should be considering. So
a lot of them.
Kind of put that out there. Sometimes
overwhelming, but I think it's good to know all of them. And then as a business, you know, you talk to your person and you decide which ones to keep and which
Yeah.
ones to not.
But I always find that it's like you live and learn. So the moment
Absolutely.
it burns, you're like, okay, I'm adding this to every time I have a contract, because
That's why the longer you're in business, the longer your contract is, because you just keep adding to it every year when some wackadoodle bride does something new or whatever. So
Corinne, do we have a estimated date on when those color collections will appear in the accounts?
ooh, we could do it right now if you guys want me to do it. If Parie,
yeah,
hey, please. If Parie logs out, I can give you guys a quick little tour of how it works here at Details. Let me log in here.
let me stop sharing.
Yeah, let me get into my account and I'll share screen. Let me see. Oops. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on, stop share. Hold on, I got to get the right screen.
No, I have like 5 screens up. So it's
I know,
hard
I
to
didn't
tell.
practice this at all. So it's like, oh, no wonder. Okay, so do you guys see my screen over here?
The Zoom, yep.
Yep, okay. So I am going to go, we'll make sure that I'm on.
Hey, Corinne, can you make the window bigger?
Ooh, I can. Does that help? No?
A little bit. It's just really small.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like this?
Yes.
Or you can just click on the green button at the top there.
The top left. Yeah.
Oh, I just think I've got such a weird thing here. All
That's
right.
better. That's better.
Okay. So basically what we're going to go to is our resources. And then this is kind of a nifty thing here. Do you see the color collections now? Do you see the screen?
Yeah,
We do. Yes.
Okay, perfect. If I go into the edit, I'm just going to make this a global and then save. And then I just have to go in and I have to make each of these. So this might take me a quick second, global. And I just have to go in here and do this. So you should start seeing these appear.
Yeah. I need to refresh. Yeah, refresh your screens, right, girls?
this is the drum roll.
I know. It's also exciting. You guys are here. You're seeing new things, but we really have made this so if we get a new partner on, we can, as soon as they approve their items, we can come into their account and click global, and then you guys should see those right fast. And you're always welcome to change out any of these pictures. So if there isn't something that you want.
Tammy said they are there.
Yeah.
I know, isn't that amazing? So we don't want to give you guys too much that's going to overwhelm. But
This is huge, you guys. Yeah, that you just got this. This is huge.
Yeah, Parie's been doing
I
all.
can imagine all the people that are going to be showing up and saying, "I didn't approve this." Like, we did. No. Anyway, so now you guys should have all those collections, and you can always, like I said, rearrange them however you want. But yeah, we're super excited about that feature. And as soon as we get our themed collections down, or if you have created a collection, maybe you want to see, let us know. And then we can just go on and turn on our Halloween collection. You know, maybe everybody wants to see the great Halloween items or Easter items. So we're really trying to work with our partners to showcase the things that they want to share with you.
Great. And just one thing I'll add to that with Corinne, just a reiteration, is that any items you've added in there that were not preloaded into Details will not automatically go into those collections. That will be the work where you find them, copy them, and paste them. So just keep that in mind.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only basically our global items or items that we have living in those collections.
Yep.
Thank you,
And
Sam.
the quick way to do that, remember, it's almost like the Hobby Lobby trip into your all items gallery and just look for red. Just go down and click red. Remember, it doesn't matter if it's already in there because it's not going to double it up. So just go through, click red, and it'll go in there quickly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have found this informative. Thank you again for sharing your day and your afternoon with us. And if you guys have any recommended topics that you'd love to see more on or more educational things, we'll put together a program. And this is just one of the extra benefits for having your membership. We want to keep your pricing the same so you know what to expect year after year, but we do want to bring you extra benefits or added values from being a member of Details. So we appreciate your business. And as always, we want you to sell lots more weddings.
Yay.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.